Hi everyone, thanks very much for coming to Art Atrium today. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land and pay respect to the elders, past, present, and emerging. This is Phaptawan's second solo exhibition with Art Atrium, although the previous one wasn't in this space. And we moved here about 3 years ago with COVID, taking up most of those time. We actually keep having to postpone all our exhibitions. So while we've been here for 3 years, effectively, we've only been here for 2 years. So this is a fantastic exhibition by Phaptawan. It's a work that she had done over the decade between 2004 and 2014. And then, of course, a major work behind us from the 2018 Bangkok Biennale. And I'm sure we're going to have a fantastic artist who's going to talk about the show, Savandari Vittapong. I'm sure she would give you a lot more information about the works, but it's basically a various series of work which Phaptawan had done in her various residency, including Bandanon and Art Space and so on. So I would like you all to welcome Savandari to open the exhibition.
Thank you, Simon. When I was at the opening night of Spirit and Place, I don't know if you guys remember that show at the MCA, it was in 1996. I felt someone touch me on the shoulder. I turned around and I didn't know who John Clark was at the time. And he said to me, "I think there is someone here you would like to meet." And I looked at Phaptawan and we both looked at each other and we just beamed. So the sisterhood developed for the next 2 years. And during that time, we did welcome 2 more sisters into our bosom. But sadly, we had the 2 more sisters joined our. You remember who it is? So we formed the Gang of 4. Yeah, the Gang of 4. Anyway, sadly, we had a gang shootout in the cemetery in Newtown. Do you remember? Yeah. And no one died, by the way. No one died. But the only gang members that are left are Phaptawan and I. And since then, we have welcomed other sisters into our gang. Welcomed them into our gang members very soon. So put my glasses on now. But anyway, but I have to say that I am forever grateful to the matchmaking efforts of the sisters. And as you can see, the result was spectacular. So since moving to Australia in 1996, Phaptawan spent the next decade raising 2 beautiful children, with John's help, of course. In 2004, she produced the Elephant and the Bush paintings done during and after a residency in Bandanon. The elephant in Thai Lao Buddhism is renowned for its wisdom, intelligence, and patience. The elephant and the bush paintings are not just an affirmation of her origin and where she is. The elephant is also a vehicle of strength for her to being in the new world, a new time and place. As Phaptawan says in John's wonderful catalogue essay, like many of my works, I started the Elephant and the Bush series using the Buddhist practice of living the moment of awareness to which I was exposed during my childhood. It wasn't until 2008, when back home on a self-initiated residency in northeast Thailand, in Isan, her father's birthplace. Here she spent her time with the village elder Meban, who was a skilled weaver. Through Phaptawan's prompting, Meban agreed to try a new way of weaving, and they soon found themselves in competition. Each morning they would race each other to the loom. Out of this competition, a beautiful organic collaboration emerged. They also connected through oral storytelling. one of which was on Traibuni Kata. Trai means three, Bumi meaning world, Kata is prose, and it's a prose written as a Dhamma by the sixth monarch of Sukhothai to teach his people about Buddhist cosmology, the three planes of existence, in order to maintain Buddhist virtues in his people. Inspired by her conversations with Meban and appreciating this time of reflection back in her homeland, she created the Three Worlds series. So those two there, and the green one and that one, amongst other textile installation works. The Buddha and his teaching runs through her art practice as she navigates her lived experience, seen in the works, endless days of meaninglessness. Through the camera lens, these images were first set up, deployed, and then painted on canvas as she tries to make sense of the physical and emotional reaction to the political unrest of the red shirt protests that she witnessed in 2010 in Thailand. 10 years on, in 2020, I was watching Phaptawan install her work, Knowledge in Your Hands, Eyes and Mind, hanging behind us here, at Asia Pacific Triennial of Performing Arts at the Arts Centre, Melbourne. I was struck how focused she was. I told her this just the other night, and she looked at me puzzled and said, "Were you there?" This painting is a celebration of Wat Po, a temple of knowledge for everyone, and a familiar place for Phaptawan growing up as a child and then to become a mural painter with her renowned father Phaptawan. At the Arts Centre, there was a bench directly in front of her work. I sat there mesmerised, observing her working. She was oblivious to her surroundings with such an intense focus. I felt a deep connection and understanding, and it brought me to my mind the philosopher Krishnamurti in his words, "The observer is the observed." Thank you, Phaptawan, for being an inspiration to me and for sharing your thoughts and feelings with us through your beautiful paintings. And also, thank you, John, for kidnapping her in 1996. I now declare the exhibition open.
Thank you, Samadari. It's great to have two fantastic artists together, and they're such good friends with each other. So we'll get Phaptawan to say a few words.
Thank you, Dari, for this speech that I cannot say no more. Too overwhelmed to speak out. But to the audience, thank you very much for coming. It's meant a lot to me with this exhibition that it has never been shown in Sydney before, and I couldn't believe it myself either that it has never been exposed here. When I and Simon, we talked about the exhibition to be earlier. I was thinking about my position, myself, my art practice in Australia, in Sydney. It's not that the creativity run dry, but I think there is something, the connectivity or the connections, the way how I articulate my art. There was that sense of I know exactly what I wanted, what materials that I have, what speech do I want to articulate, do I want to send out. I'm not sure about the whether that speech reached out. When Suwannakudt talked about this, it reminded me back to the day when we first introduced to each other and we formed that connection. It's not only friendships, it's the sisterhood, but it's a base for all of the things that I mentioned before, to deliver the message, to receive, to have someone that connect, that I think that my message has been, that I kept with myself, it's been worthwhile thinking of. There are other number of people that I wanted to say thank you for this exhibition. Simon mentioned the residency, so I name from the beginning for this exhibition the 2003 residency in Bandanon, where John came to assist me, to support me with our children. The youngest was 2 years and a half in 2003. It led me the time with John's support that I went into exploring what I call the place that I can make myself home. And it started from the Australian landscape. So the reference in the landscape is my cultural practice, my cultural background, and the practice that I carry along with me. So it's like the mark of the beginning of making myself at home here. So that was the Bandanon residency. 2007, I had the bridge to go exploring, and by that time I had the text, the script in my hands that I also express in my artwork. Now the time 2008, it was the first time that I could leave my 2 children. Now the youngest was 8. So I was brave enough to part with them and went to the residency in Sisakhet in Isan, where I met Mepan, which Dari has mentioned. And that brought in to the work, the exhibition that I showed at 4A, at 4A Center, which is not shown here because this is supposed to be the work that has not shown in Sydney before. So from 2008, I had that work in 4A, and also it resulted into the free world, the connection that I made with Mepan, and we talk about Dry Poom. It happened to be, I realized later that she was a niece of the venerable monk Ajahn Chah, whom Dari and I revere to Ajahn Chah. So that is another connection. So that was residency in 2008. In 2012, I had my presence in the Sydney Biennale, but I also had commissioned work, Edge of Elsewhere, by the Cambodia Art Center, and which enabled me to have residency at the art space, and in which I produced the work Bawa continuously in between the production for Sydney Biennale and the Edge of Elsewhere, which is over in that was to Bawa, later period of Bawa, which is mean the state of being. And then now I had the residency, a brief 2 weeks at Phaptawan University, but by that time there was political unrest in 2013, where the whole Bangkok was shut down, and that with the noise in the street, I turned up to the place where there was nobody, there was that stillness. It's like the whole situation in Thailand was deadlocked. And so here we have 2 pieces of the series, Days of Endless Meaninglessness. That's how I could contemplate the unrest, political unrest, which did not make sense, which took place during my residency there. Now back to the word knowledge in your hands, eyes and minds. Hands, eyes and minds are the key word that my father mentioned to me and to his follower, to his students, that it's there. It's bring wisdom when you create with your hands, eyes and minds all together, then wisdom took place. So that was the work in Bangkok Art Biennale. You might wonder what the bowl it is in front of them. They carry herbs, and the herbs are ingredients that we use for massage, and that was the knowledge that inscribed on the wall of the temple where this work was shown in Bangkok Art Biennale. And it's carry not the knowledge, but the ingredient of the knowledge of the hands, eyes, and mind. So to that, it's come to the complete end. So the residency that I execute this work was not actually in the temple, but at Carriage Work, where I had residency for 18 months. So I thank all the residency that support all this creativity for me. Now, I like to thank you, Simon, to create this space, the Art Atrium, the place of heart and feeling for art, which I can't say more than this, because it's always touched me where all the artists in Art Atrium come together and we speak art. And thank you to artists who came here today, friends and people whose work I admire: Sawandari, Tim, Helen, Sue, Andrew, William. So it's a special day for me. Peggy and Nick, who cannot come today, he's in Brisbane, and he's always supportive to my work. So, and last is my family, John, and Yen and Chai Sang, who has worked today, but they's anchor to me, you know, on top of the support from friends. So thank you. Thanks for everyone.
Thank you, Phaptawan. I think I really like that series, Baba. I think it means so much. It's sort of like the state of being. It appeals to my sense of life's philosophy, you know. So, but all the works are great. So if you want to find out more, you can talk to Phaptawan, have a chat to Dari as well while she's here. So enjoy the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon.